Let's discuss It's Happening Out's Hot Topic this week. It's sponsored by the American retail chain Hot Topic, with nearly 700 locations specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories, representing many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topic features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise that celebrates all the aspects of the LGBTQ plus community. Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ plus organizations. And that's why they are the sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. PrideFête celebrates the music, food, and spirit of the Caribbean culture in a safe space for the LGBTQ plus community and their allies. The festival starts on August 12th and brings you a month of fun and diverse Caribbean events, from pre and post parties to gallery exhibits, television shows, and more. The festival is organized in partnership with Hotspots, WMEG, Happening Out, and Pride Fort Lauderdale, with the City of Wilton Manors as the partner. On the occasion of the festival, the intersection of Caribbean queer people gather in and visit South Florida to live the life, culture, and values they stand by. This week's Hot Topic is, this weekend is PrideFête, and almost every person on tonight's cast can trace their roots back to the Caribbean in some way. What does it mean to us? Kids? What you thinking?
You know, first when I heard Caribbean, like, I don't know if maybe it's a me thing or a Trinidadian thing. When I hear the word Caribbean, I never even included Latinos into that, like Cuba or whatever.
Puerto Rico.
Well, U.S. stuff, and we're close to Cuba, but most of the Caribbean is black and brown people. And so, like, when I think of Caribbean culture, and I think it's amazing that we have a PrideFête, and I'm sorry I can't be a part of it, but the Caribbean is one of the most oppressive places for gay people. And when I think of, like,
you're from Trinidad.
My family is, and, like, you know, one of the reasons why it took me till, like, I was 34 years old to come out to my family was because of just the shame and stigma of it. Jamaica, a huge anti-LGBT,
sure.
You know. It's the same in the other countries that are around it, in the West Indies. And I feel like one of the reasons I'm on this show was because I wanted to try to be some kind of beacon of light to people maybe in the Caribbean that are watching this, to see somebody that looks like them, another Trinidadian that's saying, like, it's okay to be gay, and, like, you know, help change my family's opinions, help change their friends' opinions whenever I go to visit. Like, you know, it's okay. And I feel like I do. I honestly feel like I make progress when I'm there and they meet me and they're like, you know, I didn't think that, you know, when I think of gay, I think of, like, the most over-the-top drag queen or whatever. But I guess maybe being gay can be more than one thing. Not that they should be hating that in the first place, but it's like, you know, I feel like there's these cracks that are being made. So I feel like a special place in my heart for gay Caribbean.
Well, you should do a PrideFête in Homestead, maybe.
I don't think there are any Caribbean. That's me.
There's no Caribbean people.
There were 3 families, and I was one of them.
It's just you. Elimination. You're going, right? Saturday?
I am going.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yes, and so I think it gives a great opportunity for folks who aren't able to celebrate at home to come and have a safe space. It gives people who struggle throughout their life the ability to let go and be free.
Mm-hmm.
I have gone to similar events here in years past where you're exposed to the beauty of the culture, where you may not have had the opportunity prior to. You know, we talked earlier about how we are a melting pot and how so many of our cultures and lifestyle have been changed through the melting and integration of all these things, which is the truth. You know, our food, our seasoning, all of those things, we can relate back to some part of the Caribbean. Yeah. But to truly see those folks, like, I know some of those people that's pictured with the dancing, I know those people who live their lifestyle, love their country, and now can truly be themselves on the bouncy things and share that with the world. I think it's so amazing. And so somebody who has maybe never been to a Caribbean island, they should come and see the wonderfulness that our siblings who are representative of not only their country, their culture, but living their authentic self is so amazing.
I think it's more important now than ever, especially with, like, what happened to O'Shea Sibley, right? A couple of a week ago, or what happened to the gentleman left on the beach to die in Grenada, you know, recently. You know, we're being attacked, and it's not just here.
It's not just here, and the crazy thing is, because you're gay, and then the leadership is giving people ammunition. So O'Shea died, you know, was targeted because the person said, what you're doing goes against my religion, and so we're arming that. So imagine those folks in the Caribbean who's saying, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna stone you, we're gonna leave you to die because you're just being who you are, but it goes against my beliefs. And that's what we're saying. And this celebration says, you know what, we're here. we're Caribbean. We're going to celebrate our lives. We're going to celebrate our culture in your face and loving it.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an easier way to manage all that too. I don't think we have to like put it in anyone else's face or the opposing, team that's going to seek out to harm us. Like, there are people who are fighting this at home. Take your mom, dude. Your mom may not be exposed to stuff like this. She's gonna see kind of like her country, like some of the cultural kind of aspects come to life, and see how it is in our world, in Wilton Manors, in the gay scene, in the LGBTQ scene, where it's even more friendly, even more like familiar. And so I think, like, instead of battling, fuck the world, like, let's focus on those in our circle that are still battling, that are still on the fence. Bring them, see how nice it is, and that children are welcome, and that it's very family oriented.
Absolutely.
And you'll come out winning, and you'll get a lot more than trying to fight the opposing side.
Is it bad that I'm just like extra happy that they're doing like a black and brown event on Wilton?
I mean, it's
No.
Like, they don't do it enough.
They don't
do
do it enough, but I mean, at the same time, and I mean, that's why I like events like this, right? Or like the Black History, like when we had like the cookout, right? We're in a place now, just as a society, where unfortunately, like, people are trying to shove us back into the closet. Like, it's happening. It's happening everywhere you look. And for people, especially like in the Caribbean culture, or like a lot of other cultures, where there was already tenuous as it was to begin with, and now it's gotten to the safe spot, which for a lot of people is like the U.S. It's like, well, crap, right? We came here because we thought that this was going to be open and this,
Safer.
and now the entire world, now this country is starting to like turn against us. And obviously, it's not everybody, but I think that having events like this, having events in places like Wilton that is predominantly white, it makes a stand, and it makes a cultural connection to people that when people show up for events like this, it tells the people in Wilton, wait, there are people that actually want this on the drive, right? There are people that are excited. I mean, we have like, there's like an urban event now that Prince Chilla hosts at Hamburger Mary's. And for a long time, there was nothing like that, right? People would go out to Davie to Cloud 9 if they wanted to be around other like black and brown queer people.
True.
And that's saying a lot of like, we have to, if we're going to make safe spaces, we have to make them for everyone, right? We can't just make them for very subset groups of people. And when you do that, people will show up. That's why this event keeps growing every single year.
Last year, you couldn't. I mean, like, it was 11 o'clock and they had to throw people out because people were having such a great time with the food, fun, and just cultural wonderfulness that was all PrideFête. Make sure that you get out there this weekend. Wilton Manors, PrideFête, look it up. You get all the information. You're going to have a blast. Trust me.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ+ community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.